Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Lagos, there lived a young woman named Chioma. Chioma was a kind-hearted and beautiful girl of 25 years. She had long, braided hair and a smile that could light up the darkest room. Chioma worked hard as a nurse at the local hospital, where she cared for those in need with compassion and grace. One sunny afternoon, Chioma met a lovely woman named Edeora. Edeora was also 25 years old and had a radiant personality that drew people to her. The two quickly became friends, bonding over their shared love for helping others and their dreams for the future. As they sat in a quaint cafe sipping on refreshing glasses of zobo, Chioma and Edeora exchanged stories and laughter. Little did they know, their lives were about to become intertwined in ways they could never have imagined. As Chioma and Edeora continued to spend time together, they often talked about their hopes and dreams for finding love. Little did they know, fate had other plans in store for them. One day, while out shopping for groceries, they bumped into a charming young man named Obinna. Obinna was tall, dark, and handsome, with a smile that could melt even the coldest of hearts. He was kind and charismatic, and Chioma and Edeora were immediately drawn to him. Obinna struck up a conversation with the two friends, and they quickly discovered that they had a lot in common. They laughed and joked as they strolled through the aisles of the supermarket, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. Little did Chioma and Edeora know, their encounter with Obinna was about to change their lives forever. As Chioma and Edeora's friendship blossomed, so too did their feelings for Obinna. They both found themselves falling head over heels in love with the charming young man, but neither of them dared to admit it to the other. Unknown to both Chioma and Edeora, Obinna was secretly seeing both of them behind their backs. He showered Edeora with gifts and affection, while simultaneously wooing Chioma with his smooth words and irresistible charm. Chioma and Edeora were oblivious to Obinna's deceit, believing him to be the perfect gentleman who had captured both of their hearts. Little did they know, they were both pawns in his cunning game of love and deception. As months passed, Obinna continued to juggle his relationships with Chioma and Edeora, each unaware of the other's existence in his life. However, as his feelings for both women grew stronger, Obinna knew he could not keep up the charade forever. One evening, as the sun set over the city skyline, Obinna took Edeora out for a romantic dinner at their favorite restaurant. With a nervous smile, he got down on one knee and pulled out a sparkling diamond ring. "Edeora, my love," Obinna declared, "will you do me the honor of being my wife?" Edeora's eyes widened in shock as she gazed down at the ring glimmering in the candlelight. Overwhelmed with joy, she nodded her head vigorously, tears of happiness streaming down her cheeks. Little did Edeora know, her fairy tale proposal was about to take a dark and twisted turn. As news of Edeora's engagement spread, Chioma's heart shattered into a million pieces. She had always dreamed of marrying Obinna and spending the rest of her life by his side, but now that dream lay in ruins at her feet. Unable to bear the pain of seeing Obinna with another woman, Chioma withdrew into herself, her once bright and joyful spirit dimmed by heartache and despair. She tried to put on a brave face for Edeora's sake, but inside, she was crumbling under the weight of unrequited love. Little did Chioma know, her suffering was far from over, as Obinna's betrayal would soon be laid bare for all to see. As the day of Edeora and Obinna's wedding dawned, Chioma forced a smile onto her face as she watched her best friend prepare to walk down the aisle. She had never felt more alone in her entire life, knowing that the man she loved was about to pledge his heart to another woman. The church was filled with friends and family, all gathered to celebrate the union of Edeora and Obinna. As the organ began to play and Edeora made her grand entrance, Chioma's heart ached with a pain so intense, she thought it would consume her whole. But as the ceremony progressed and the vows were exchanged, Chioma's world came crashing down around her. For in that moment, she realized that Obinna had been lying to them both all along, and her best friend was about to marry the man she loved with all her heart. As the priest pronounced Edeora and Obinna husband and wife, Chioma's world spun out of control. Tears streamed down her face as she fled from the church, unable to bear the sight of the man she loved, vowing to cherish another woman for the rest of his days. But just as Chioma reached the sanctuary of her empty apartment, a knock sounded at the door. Wiping away her tears, she opened it to find Obinna standing on her doorstep, his face twisted with guilt and remorse. "Chioma, please forgive me," Obinna begged, his voice trembling with emotion. "I never meant to hurt you or Edeora. I was a fool to think I could have both of you in my life at the same time." Chioma's heart ached at the sight of Obinna's pain, but she knew that forgiveness would not come easy. With a heavy sigh, she closed the door in his face, knowing that she could never trust him again. Little did Chioma know, Obinna's betrayal was just the beginning of a much larger and more dangerous game. As Chioma grappled with the pain of Obinna's betrayal, she knew that she could not keep the truth hidden from Edeora any longer. With a heavy heart, she arranged to meet her best friend at their favorite cafe, where they had shared so many happy memories together. As Edeora arrived, her face lit up with a smile as she embraced Chioma in a warm hug. But as Chioma looked into her friend's eyes, she knew that their bond was about to be tested like never before. "Edeora, there's something I need to tell you," Chioma began, her voice trembling with emotion. "Obinna has been seeing both of us behind each other's backs. He's been lying to us this whole time, and I can't stand by and let him hurt you anymore." Edeora's eyes widened in shock as Chioma recounted the truth of Obinna's deception, her hands trembling with rage and betrayal. She felt as though her entire world had been turned upside down, her trust shattered into a million irreparable pieces. But as the reality of Obinna's deceit sank in, Edeora felt a whirlwind of emotions swelling inside her. Anger, betrayal, and heartache consumed her as she grappled with the devastating revelation that the man she loved had been lying to her all along. Tears streamed down Edeora's cheeks as she struggled to make sense of the situation. How could Obinna have betrayed her trust so completely? And how could she have been so blind to his deception? As Chioma reached out to comfort her friend, Edeora's heart overflowed with gratitude for the unwavering support of her best friend. Despite her own pain, Chioma had put aside her own feelings to protect Edeora from further harm, and for that, Edeora would be forever grateful. In the days that followed, Edeora found herself faced with an impossible decision. Should she confront Obinna and demand answers, or should she walk away from him forever and try to rebuild her shattered life? With Chioma by her side, Edeora weighed her options carefully, knowing that whatever she chose would have far-reaching consequences. She couldn't bear the thought of confronting Obinna and hearing the truth of his betrayal, but she also couldn't ignore the gnawing ache in her heart that longed for closure. In the end, Edeora knew that she couldn't let Obinna's lies go unpunished. With a steely resolve, she made up her mind to confront him and demand the truth, no matter how painful it may be. Armed with courage and determination, Edeora arranged to meet Obinna at a secluded spot by the river where they had shared so many happy memories together. As she waited nervously for him to arrive, her heart pounded in her chest with a mixture of fear and anticipation. When Obinna finally appeared, Edeora's breath caught in her throat at the sight of the man she had once loved so deeply. But as she looked into his eyes, she saw only betrayal and deceit staring back at her, and her resolve hardened. "Obinna, we need to talk," Edeora said, her voice trembling with emotion. "I know about your affair with Chioma, and I won't stand by and let you hurt us anymore." Obinna's face paled with shock as Edeora laid bare the truth of his deception, his hands shaking with guilt and remorse. He tried to deny it at first, but when faced with Edeora's unwavering gaze, he knew that the game was up. As Edeora confronted Obinna with the truth of his betrayal, she felt a sense of liberation wash over her. No longer shackled by the chains of his lies, she stood tall and unyielding, ready to face whatever consequences may come. Obinna tried to plead for forgiveness, his words falling on deaf ears as Edeora turned her back on him and walked away. She knew that she deserved better than to be treated like a fool, and she refused to let Obinna's deceit define her any longer. With Chioma's unwavering support by her side, Edeora vowed to put the past behind her and move forward with her life. She knew that it wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to emerge from the ashes of heartache stronger and more resilient than ever before. In the weeks that followed, Edeora focused on healing the wounds that Obinna's betrayal had inflicted upon her heart. With Chioma's support and encouragement, she threw herself into her work at the hospital, finding solace in caring for others in need. Slowly but surely, Edeora began to piece her life back together, finding joy in the simple pleasures of everyday life that she had once taken for granted. She reconnected with old friends, pursued her passions, and rediscovered the strength and resilience that lay dormant within her all along. Though the scars of Obinna's betrayal would always linger, Edeora knew that she had emerged from the darkness stronger and more determined than ever before. With Chioma by her side, she was ready to face whatever challenges the future may hold, knowing that together, they could overcome anything. Just when Edeora thought that she had put Obinna's betrayal behind her for good, an unexpected twist of fate threw her world into chaos once again. One evening, as she was leaving the hospital after a long shift, Edeora received a frantic phone call from Chioma. "Edeora, you need to come quick," Chioma's voice trembled with urgency. "It's Obinna. He's been in a terrible accident." Fear gripped Edeora's heart as she raced to the hospital, her mind racing with a million unanswered questions. What had happened to Obinna? Was he going to be okay? And why did Chioma sound so distraught? As she arrived at the hospital and rushed to Obinna's bedside, Edeora's heart sank at the sight of him lying pale and unconscious, hooked up to a tangle of wires and tubes. In that moment, all of the pain and anger she had felt towards him melted away, replaced by a sense of overwhelming grief and compassion. As Edeora sat by Obinna's bedside, praying for his recovery, she couldn't help but feel a sense of forgiveness wash over her. Despite everything he had done, she couldn't bring herself to hate him, knowing that deep down, he was just as human and flawed as the rest of them. As the days turned into weeks and Obinna slowly began to regain consciousness, Edeora remained by his side, offering him her unwavering support and forgiveness. She knew that their relationship would never be the same again, but she was determined to give him a second chance to make things right. Obinna was overwhelmed with gratitude for Edeora's forgiveness, vowing to spend the rest of his days making amends for the pain he had caused her. Together, they embarked on a journey of redemption and reconciliation, determined to rebuild their shattered relationship from the ground up. And as they faced the challenges and obstacles that lay ahead, Edeora knew that no matter what the future may hold, she would always have Chioma by her side, her steadfast friend and confidant, guiding her every step of the way. Together, they embarked on a journey of reconciliation and rediscovery, determined to rebuild their relationship on a foundation of honesty, trust, and mutual respect. As Edeora and Obinna worked to rebuild their relationship, Chioma stood by their side as a pillar of strength and support. Though she had been hurt by Obinna's betrayal, Chioma harbored no ill will towards her friend and his wife, knowing that forgiveness was the only path to true healing. Together, the three of them forged a renewed bond of friendship and camaraderie, determined to put the past behind them and embrace the promise of a brighter future. They laughed, they cried, and they leaned on each other in times of need, knowing that no matter what trials and tribulations may come their way, they would always have each other to rely on. Just when Edeora thought that her life couldn't get any more complicated, she received news that would change everything. After years of struggling with infertility, she discovered that she was pregnant with Obinna's child, a miracle that brought tears of joy to her eyes. As she shared the news with Obinna and Chioma, the three of them were overwhelmed with happiness and gratitude for the unexpected blessing that had been bestowed upon them. Though they knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, they faced the future with hope and determination, knowing that their love and friendship would see them through even the darkest of times. As Edeora's pregnancy progressed, she and Obinna were filled with anticipation and excitement for the arrival of their little bundle of joy. With Chioma's help, they prepared for the new addition to their family, decorating the nursery and stocking up on baby supplies with eager anticipation. When the day finally arrived for Edeora to give birth, the entire hospital seemed to buzz with excitement as friends and family gathered to celebrate the joyous occasion. And as Edeora held her newborn baby in her arms for the first time, she knew that all of the pain and heartache of the past was worth it for the sheer bliss of this moment. Surrounded by the love and support of her closest friends and family, Edeora felt truly blessed as she looked down at the tiny bundle of joy cradled in her arms. And as she gazed into the eyes of her precious baby, she knew that no matter what challenges may lie ahead, she would always have Chioma and Obinna by her side, her faithful companions on the journey of life. The story of Chioma, Edeora, and Obinna teaches us that honesty and integrity are essential in any relationship. Betrayal and deceit can cause immense pain and heartache, not only for those directly involved but also for innocent bystanders. It underscores the importance of communication, trust, and mutual respect in maintaining healthy and lasting relationships. Additionally, it highlights the strength of true friendship, as Chioma's unwavering support and Edeora's forgiveness ultimately paved the way for healing and reconciliation. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your support helps us grow our channel. See you in our next story. Bye.
Subscribe to my channel.